What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We are here to do our interview with Drummers United International today. I am excited. I am excited. I am excited for all the guests that we have here. And yes, we're about to dig into it right now. So I'm going to bring them into the stream, and we're about to get started with a conversation regarding musicianship, regarding the Drum Clinic Uncut 2020 that's happening in Las Vegas, Nevada on August the 29th. And that's beginning at, I believe, 10 a.m. So I'm going to bring everybody in, and here we go. Hey. What's going on? Everybody good. There we go. Boom. All right. We got everybody unmuted. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we're all here to get started with a conversation regarding, just music in general. I know a bunch of us have like different brands and things of that nature, but if you can, everybody just go around in the circle, if you will, and introduce yourself. And then we'll get started. So right now we'll start with you, then we'll go to Armani, then we'll go to God's Poet. All right. So go ahead, bro.
Hey, my name is Ronell, aka Super Drummer. I've been playing drums for about 22 years. I played for a lot of Grammy Award-winning people, and I'm just happy to be here, y'all.
Armani. Oh, his thing might be froze. You could go ahead. I never met you personally. I'm Dominique. How you doing, God's Poet?
How are you? My name is God's Poet. I am a Las Vegas artist, singer, songwriter, rapper, poet. Been doing music for about, I want to say about the last seven years. Poetry for the last my whole life, but performing it live for the last 15 years. And I'm glad to be here.
Cool. Mr. Swift, we want to hear from you too. Everybody else has introduced themselves, and so we want you, I call him Soul Tone personally, but
cut it out.
That's what I call him personally, is Soul Tone. And so, Mr. Soul Tone Swift, we want you to introduce yourself as to who you are as well.
My name is Roderick Swift. I'm just a body believer, and I'm just glad to be a part of this session at this time. Just excited.
Yes, sir. Now, what are you excited about? Are you excited about this drum clinic that's supposed to be happening in Las Vegas on August the 29th, or what?
Basically bringing us together.
Yeah.
Rooted and grounded. That's basically what my heart is about. And, I love to see different types of styles of music, different types of styles of poetry, different types of style of art come together. That's basically my thing in this urge. And if I get that done, I done it for the Lord. That's all that matters.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, man, I'm gonna just speak from my perspective. I'm grateful to be a part of joining and coming together with some other musicians, from Las Vegas area, and hopefully eventually to be able to take this thing around the country and to be able to make an impact with drummers in general and musicians in general. I know a lot of times, like, you don't always have kind of a safe place to play where you could just be yourself and you can just kind of hang out with those individuals who you come to know. Me and Rodnell have fostered a relationship throughout the years. He met me when I worked at Sleep Train, right? So like, and wow. I used to work at Sleep Train in San Francisco, right? I used to sell beds, but Guitar Center was like 2 blocks away from where I worked. So he would be going to Guitar Center in San Francisco on Van Ness, and basically, oh, that's Jay, yes sir. He would basically be going to Guitar Center, and he just so happened to look in the store one day and was like, "Bro, you work here?" So then on his way to Guitar Center for like 4 and 5 hours, he up in my job and he trying out beds. I'm like, "You're not buying nothing, get out of here." But he would still be in there, and then we would be having a good time. And then after I get off work, we would go up to Guitar Center and go shed for like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, just playing around until basically they closed, right? And so it was a cool experience because like from then to now, like our lives is totally different from from him meeting me when I was still selling like mattresses to people, right? And so I think progress when you are with people for a long period of time is dope to see because you get to see how people develop and how people grow over time. So, oh yeah, so yeah, it's pretty dope to be a part of this experience again. And yeah, I'm excited for all the other Vegas drummers that I'll get to meet while we're there. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a great time. Um, so yeah, so let's kind of dig in right now. Like, what do you feel like is the main thing that would unify musicians in coming together? What do you think? I'm gonna start with God's poet. I'm gonna ask her, what do you think will bring musicians together? You know, I kind of feel like it should be ladies first. You know, you got to be respectful. So yeah,
I believe that in order to come together, we must first recognize that we all have an individual gift.
right,
No one's gift is the same. And we are uniquely and wonderfully made for a specific purpose. And so when we recognize that we all have we don't have the same, like my flow ain't the same as my husband. My husband flow too, but I can't do what he do. I recognize that God gave me my own. And so when we stop trying to be like everybody wants us to be and just be who God called us to be, then we can take away some of this competition. It's anything in what we do shouldn't be about competition. When I do what I do, if I get up and I spit a verse, whether I spit a rap or whatever, my thing is, is it gonna touch someone to want to come to Christ? And that's my purpose. My purpose is not to get up there and entertain. Of course, we know people are some people are entertained by it, and some people really just need that word. But once we get out of the competition and recognize that we all have a unique and wonderful gift, and it's our own that God gave us, then we can get out there and we can start touching others, and even embrace and encourage each other. So that for me, that'll be it. Like, I just feel like people are it's too much competition instead of encouraging one another. You know what I'm saying? Just be who God called you to be.
That's right.
absolutely. Now Armani, you here, bro? We Gucci? I know he was having some little technical errors. But yeah, so absolutely. I feel like it's very important for, first of all, like, I mean, the reality is like we're all in dealing with the pandemic right now. Well, our options are very limited as to what we can do and how we can actually be a part. Um, I guess I'm just crazy enough to get on a plane, like, right? So some people is like, I ain't that comfortable, right? Like I don't really know. I'm like, listen, I'm a man of faith, and it's not that I'm trying to test my faith, or it's not that I'm trying to put God to the test or nothing of that nature. But I'm willing to do what's necessary to help to show unification for a vision that I believe in, right? So
Yeah.
I've met, like, in the past couple of months, I've had several different gigs in Las Vegas. So I met cats like Jay Spade. I met cats like, Dave Backer. I met, Armani. I know Armani Larry now, aka Brains, right? So I met quite a few of some of the guys so far. I even met what's his name, Beck Donaldson. He played at Cork and Thorn the other night with Armani, and they did their session with Black Rain, right? So I was able to meet some guys during my time of kind of gigging and doing different things out there thus far. And so for me, I know every area has kind of this thing where they want all of the musicians to come together and to be on one accord and be on the same page, right? But I just feel like it's always something that's like stifling musicians from coming together. Like, I don't know why it is, and I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like some of the things that you highlighted as far as us being individuals and kind of removing the competition, I think some of it is just really pride and ego at the end of the day, right? And then other parts of it is some people compare you to other people like all the time. So it's always like, are you as good as, and can you do as much as, and how much are you making on the gig? And it's just all of this stuff that really don't matter at the end of the day. Because like, if you're hungry and your kid is starving, it don't matter how much money I make at the end of the day. If you can't put no food on the table for your own household, what do it matter? Like, why are we like trying to create these scenarios and situations about people and what they're doing, when in reality we all really need each other at the end of the day, right? Like, for example, and I'll let Ronell kind of highlight on this. Like, when I was getting ready to get endorsed, I called him right? And what did I ask you, bro? What company should I go with, and why should I choose them? Now, what did you tell me when it came to why I should choose a company and why I should stay with a company, or you know what I'm saying? Like, what did you tell me then?
With the companies, nowadays it's like it's not you always get stuff for free. You always get like a certain discount with endorsements, and I told them, hey man, if they're gonna treat you right, and if they got a good following, I feel that you should go with them. You know what I'm saying? And if they're gonna, do what they ask you, if they ask you for anything, you gotta just do it. Like, do what they ask you to do. It's hard, man, to get endorsed now, man. It's like it's super hard. You know what I'm saying? I got at least 4 or 5 endorsements under my belt right now, and it was very hard. You know what I'm saying, to get them. But you got to stay true to the companies. You can't sit around and just be going around playing with all these different cymbals, all these different sticks, all these different drum heads.
Exactly.
You have to stay committed, man. You got to stay, and that's the thing about me is I try to stay committed to, like I told Dom, but you got to stay committed. You know what I'm saying? Your gift is going to make room for you, and it has made room for you to get an endorsement. You know what I'm saying? And, you got to just do whatever it take. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hit nobody in the back or try to be on somebody jock. I mean, or, a company jock like so hard
Yes,
that
sir.
you know what I'm saying they will notice you sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? They will notice you as soon as you play their product. You got to play the product. So if you don't
Right,
play the product, if you don't play their product, period, like you can't even look for them to look at you. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay the product first, and then you can move forward and saying, hey, can I get an endorsement? What do I have to go through? What is the steps? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times if you don't have a press kit or if you don't have certain things, man, it's bad for you. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And I just went through something with a company, and I was like, hey man, you tell me I was at NAM, and you telling me one thing, and then when I hit you up about something else, it's like you still send me my stuff for free, but it's still like, all right, well, what are you, are we are is the paperwork about to be finalized or whatever? You know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm not, I don't trip off of nothing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
uh-oh.
he's there.
Yeah, he's still there. But yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like when you're talking about endorsements, Mr. Solitone, what was the process like for you with getting an endorsement?
Well, my process was it was okay. It was very easy. It was just all it was asking, do you have any videos of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You with somebody else? That's basically the first thing they ask you. Are you with somebody else?
Right,
Because if you're with somebody else, you can't be dedicated or devoted to this family neither.
right.
So that's one of the questions that they was asking me. So I was able to ask them that. What type of music? What type of genre will you play? I told them I play a little bit of everything. I play jazz, blues, gospel. I play a little funk. I play a little bit of everything. Matter of fact, but my favorite is jazz and gospel. So that's the main thing that they look at is who you are faithful to. Are you going to be faithful to us, or are you going to be faithful to another company at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, we got Armani. My guy is here. Woo! My guy Brains. Yes, sir. So, Brains, please give us, first of all, why do you call yourself Brains? Number one. Okay, I need to know this information.
All right, so I would say about 7 years, 6, 7 years ago, I was part
Yeah.
of a band, and pretty much they hate being in rehearsals with me because, well, for those of y'all that's in here being in rehearsals with me, like y'all know, like at a drop of a dime, I'll be like, hold up, I got an idea, and then like whatever we doing, we'll venture off to the left. So my sax player at the time, she was like, "Oh, here we go. Here go Brains." And then she was like, "You know what? We're gonna start calling you Brains because you always thinking about some stuff." And then I was like, "That might be, I might take that." So then I took it and then created like a whole brand. I
Right.
created a whole brand off of just that. So I got accompanying music on the brains, like literally everything is stem off of that.
Okay, I got you. So, I mean, with that being said, how important do you feel like it is to recognize yourself and what you're doing as a brand and not just as somebody who plays for other artists? Right? Like, talk about that process of building a brand out. Like, is a brand a t-shirt, a logo, you know what I'm saying, the EIN? Like, what is it? Like, what's the purpose of it as a musician?
So, so altogether, it's more of like just a production company. So my goal is like, so pretty much what I like, I don't want to say pride myself on, but my favorite thing to do is kind of like help people visions come to pass,
Mhm.
and just being a part of other people's like history, like, you know, doing their first concert or doing their first record or doing, you know, people's first anything, or just being a part of people's history in general. I love just that feeling of like, okay, they accomplished something and I was, you know, I was a part of it, even if it was a small part, but I was a part of helping them bring that vision to pass. So the brand is just more so, I mean, like, so it's a production company, but it also helps just it's an overall like umbrella of like helping people wherever I can um complete whatever their vision is. So like with me as an artist, like so now even honestly just the past couple of years I kind of like started labeling myself as an artist now doing this like, you know, neo soul jazz stuff and coming out with a, you know, neo soul jazz record. But just now I'm venturing off like as an artist, but I'm still in a position where I can still try to help people, even from production, from writing, honestly, just whatever it is. Like now, like my sister, my sister-in-law, she has a hairline business, whatever, with for edges and whatever. So now I just created her a theme song, like, you know, to help her business or whatever. So just different stuff like that.
Okay, I got you. So when it comes to building a brand for you, Rodnell, super drummer,
Yeah.
what do you feel like building a brand is from your perspective, and why is it important as a musician to do so?
Building a brand to me is basically, um, well, first of all, I have a production company. It's called Super Drummer Productions. I built my brand from the ground up. Basically, you know, somebody, I think it was my mom or somebody was calling me Super Drummer, you know, because I play all different genres of music. And so I was just like, hey, you know, like Brain said, you know, I took it on as, hey, let me do whatever I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I LLC'd it. I took it under my umbrella, you know, and just tried to build, you know, to help people, to mentor, to, you know, help people with music. And you know it's going very well. You know what I'm saying? I like, you know, and building, you know, having merchandise and everything, you know, is key too, man. You know, it's like that's how people know who you are too. You know what I'm saying? Just not just saying, oh, I'm Super Drummer, and they just see, you know, they just hear a name. You know what I'm saying? But they can see, you know, you got T-shirts, I got sweatpants, I got, you know, I got hats, I got my own drumsticks. I mean, you brand yourself, you know, with the super drummer and all that. So you bring yourself to where, to the point. I got my own my own snare, custom snare. But you bring yourself, man. You just bring yourself into the point to where people will really know who you are and they'll take you more serious. You know what I'm saying? Just not saying, oh, I played behind this person, I did this. But it would, you know, it would help build your brand. And then, you know, I'm just here to help people, man, whatever I can. You know, like I said, I told you what to do. I got a call from Frosty from Sacramento. He called me and asked me the same questions that you asked me about endorsements, and now he's on with I think Sovereign Symbols, I think, or one of them symbol companies. So and I was trying to help him get on with Los Cabos too. So you know, it's just, you know, helping people, man, around the world, you know, and that's what I'm here for.
Yes, sir, bro. Now as far as a, so do you sing? Do you do poetry? What exactly do you do? Do you do a mix of it all? You know, do you like, you know, break out and do the Cabbage Patch while you singing the song? Like, what do you do when you y'all prep me? I'm crazy. I know y'all know me, but I'm crazy. So what do you do that kind of separates you in that area, right? Because now we're gonna talk about what makes you authentic to what it is you're supposed to be doing, like wherever you live, right? Like why would people call God's poet back versus me with my poetry that I'm doing while I'm doing the Cabbage Patch and the Running Man at the same time, right? So why would they call you back? Like what separates you from anybody else that's doing the same thing that you do? That's what I want to talk about.
I'm eclectic. I have a broad of gifts. I just use I avail myself to be used in any genre or anywhere I can be used. Armani can call me to do background, which he never do, but but no, Armani can call me to do background, or I can do spoken word. I not only rap, but I also open up venues. What makes me really different is it's not about me. I try to give back and into the community, and I always try to open up venues for other people. I have an event that I do myself called Poetically Eclectic, where I bring in up and coming or aspiring poets or artists who want to learn how to, their stage presence, how to do cadence, how to do those type of things. I open up the doors for them because some people just don't know where to start. Some people don't know how to build themselves up or even get the encouragement to get on the stage or a platform. So I open it up for people who want to do those things in the future. So that's what makes me different. Is it's not about me. It's not about how many stages I can get on, but I also open up stages for many people. I've and help them get to where they need to be, and introduce them to people to start building their platform as well.
Okay. Now, as a musician, right, and as a poet and as a singer and as all these different things, how has the pandemic impacted your perspective with now figuring out more creative ways to make money as a poet or as a musician? Right? Because I can give you a list of 1,000 different things, right? But I want to hear y'all perspective, and then I'll see if y'all kind of tapped in on my toes when it comes to what I'm thinking or considering, like has been now kind of the new. Somebody said it's the new abnormal, right? Uh, so, what and whoever wants to go first can go first.
I'll go first.
Who is this? Rod?
Yeah.
Big Red? Yes, sir. Come on, I got.
Well, actually, our church doors never closed.
Okay.
It's this pandemic situation. We follow all the laws of the lands of the living. Um, as far as from 15 people to 50 people or whatever. So as far as my ministry was still going. Either if I was as a minister or if I was as a musician, it was still going. And then as far as the pandemic you're talking about, this is something new to me as far as what we're doing right now, going viral, virtual. So I'm just learning this and I'm using this to the best of my ability. I think I'm doing pretty well, actually. It's just an awesome experience, and I think it's going to be amazing when we do this for Drum Clinic Uncut 2020, August 29th.
Yes, sir. Now, who want to go next? Because it looked like Armani ready. Look, see.
Here's what I would say. This pandemic, like, it's a good and it's like there's a good side and there's a bad side. I think the only bad side is really because for those of us, like everybody on here, we perform, we on stages, we travel, we do everything, and so before everything hit, I know me personally, my year was kind of planned, and for like I love traveling, so the fact that like as of earlier this year, there was dates on the calendar where I was kind of traveling, and I was actually really excited about traveling. And then so when everything hit and it literally canceled everything for the year, it was like because I love just being on stage. But from a creative standpoint, though, I think overall, first of all, it puts you in the mindset where you can't you it's either gonna make you or break you. Like you either gonna be lazy or you not. You know what I'm saying? So now give you a chance to really like get out those ideas. I think for me personally though, it's been a super blessing. It's been a super blessing. Because for one, not only do I play live, but I'm also a producer. So it gave me that time to catch up on production and stuff, and I've done more probably production stuff in this last about 4 months than I've done probably in a while. Like, because before the pandemic hit, like my schedule had got like so crazy just with rehearsals and concerts and performing whatever, to the point where I couldn't really focus on production stuff. And everybody knows as a producer, like that's the stuff that really matters and really counts. And I always wanted to have that time, and I felt like I don't know. I feel like with this pandemic, Jesus was like, "All right, bet. Like you said, you want that time. I'm about to shut down the entire world so you can have that time." So I was like, but you know what? I'm super grateful. Praise to God. Like I was able to still make money off production stuff, so nothing was really lacking. Like I was able to gain clients and do everything I need to do. Really, kind of reestablish my studio, get all my business stuff handled. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was already like kind of like operating as a business, but the fact that now maybe I was able to get my LLC and to really just bring everything together and do it, do it, put everything in order how I wanted it to. It's really like a super blessing. And then even from like a virtual standpoint, I'm still helping people, being a part of people's vision. And I'm still, what I'm saying, doing what I love to do. So it's been a blessing and a curse, but to me, more of a blessing than anything.
Yes, sir. Now, right, who else want to go? God's you
I'll,
talking?
I'll
Yeah.
go ahead and go. On a creative part, I'm always creative, or I try to be creative daily. It kind of gave me a chance to get start working on things that I haven't worked on in a while, like the book that I've been writing for the last year. And well, I had a production set up right literally like the week everything got shut down. And so it doesn't stop it. That's kind of, just have to redirect on how I'm gonna push it out there and get the poetry back out there to the people. So, we're still coming with Poetically Eclectic. We just gonna have to do it a different way. You just have to be creative. As a creative person, you just have to find more creative things to do in order to get your art out there. Um, wasn't always on the platform. I wasn't always, um, traveling. So you just have to find other ways to do things. And as far as like money and stuff like that goes, it's never about the money for me. So, I'm still now out and about, doing things for the community. So it's never about the money because my way is always trying to find out how I can give back versus take in. So I'm still receiving checks from my first album. So I'm not even, stuff like that don't even bother me. But at the end of the day,
Come on,
it's you just have to
production.
find new ways to be creative. You have to find other venues. And then I have more than one. I'm a jack of all trades, if you want to call it like that. I'm not just an artist. I'm an artist, period. From making clothes to doing facials to making my own products. Like, so it don't stop. The hustle never stop, so to
Boy,
speak.
she
But
babysit and do hair and sell drugs all at the same time.
I do hair. I just graduated as an esthetician, so
See,
yeah. Uh, but to God be the glory. It
she
just don't
fixed
never stop.
cars.
As an artist, you just have to keep staying, being creative. Got an album coming out with my husband, and so we've been in here writing. We've been in here nonstop. We've been writing. So to God be the glory. Just keep your head up and always try to find other venues to stay creative so that you won't be stagnated in your gift.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Mr. Swift, how do you feel like this has helped you to adjust during this time because of the pandemic? How do you feel like this process has helped you? Has it helped you? Do you feel like it's kind of making things a little more challenging? Because of the pandemic. How do you feel?
Well, it was very a challenge because soon as it started, I had a big production going on at Bellagio with Yossi, and it was a company coming from what they call it. It was coming from England, and they was doing just a to-go party for a veteran, basically. And just that week, everything was canceled from that session. It was not irritating, but it was just a slap in the face. But the only good part about this, I just don't produce stuff. I cook too.
Yes, you
So
do.
yeah, so it's not just the music. I do other things too, far as putting stuff together too. So I'm more of a saucier, and got other things under my belt too myself. So I got a lot of art too.
Listen, I'm not trying to cut you off. I love you like a play cousin. But my problem is you ain't sent me no food yet. And so we're gonna have to talk about this off the air because I like to eat. So I need some food. Praise God. No, I'm being funny.
Hey man, listen, I'm still waiting on the plate.
Speak up a little bit later, louder, so I can hear you.
I'm still waiting on the plate. I've been to his house and everything. I'm still waiting on the plate.
He said he's still waiting on his plate. That's what he said.
And I never.
Oh
I
yeah,
ain't never been
anytime
offered
y'all
a
can have
plate,
that plate
so I'm just
anytime. But
saying.
the problem was y'all was gonna get it this time, but the situation that we had to follow by.
Yeah.
I ain't even been offered a plate, so I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm still left out. I guess he don't want me to be picky because I'm a picky cook, so he probably like I don't want to ask her because I talk about everybody's food. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
Pray for me.
Hey,
see, Dave Becker talking about he ain't never got a plate neither. See, y'all, man, what's going on? What's going on? Soul Tone, what's up? You holding on to all the food, apparently. What's going on?
Man, I just made omelets this morning. Y'all could have came by for breakfast.
see, that's that stuff right there.
I just made omelets this morning. Y'all could have came by for breakfast.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Breakfast. I want some food.
Now Kim is talking about she ain't never got a plate out. See, you gonna have a long line of people who ready to eat. You know what I'm saying? Listen, this is gonna be.
I'm telling you, I had everything together. I had everything together for this situation, but
I understand.
Y'all see my face?
That's the thing. Like that's the thing with this whole. That's the thing with this whole pandemic is you got to be willing to make adjustments, right? And the people who had the courage, like to still had a fortitude to get it done and to remain focused, is the people who gonna win, right? So for me, one of the ways that the pandemic has kind of opened up an avenue for me is I'm getting more into doing like video and the production side of stuff from like kind of behind the camera, if you will, right? So while I like music, and of course I've been playing drums since I was 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like I love like doing albums and working on projects. Like I just played on Amplify Worship's EP. That video will be coming out next Friday? Or
it's coming out soon. It'll be finished.
Yeah. So I mean, I did that, right? Me and Rodnell is working on some stuff right now, to start putting out more content and start doing things on that level. And so for me, like this has more so been an opportunity for me where it's actually made me tap into other gifts that I wasn't aware that I actually like had a knack for until like this time, right? So now I'm writing, I'm doing like a lot of different things that now like I feel like God is opening up these doors and these opportunities for me to be able to put this content out, right? So I'm also doing other things like speaking and I'm preaching more because I'm a minister too. So when she talk about being a jack of all trades, I like got juice because I was like, yeah, this is like a sister right here. Like, come on, like, we out here in these streets, like we trying to figure it out, right? Because at the end of the day, like us as a people and the way we operate is no matter what's thrown at us, no matter what's put in our path, we're gonna find a way, right? So I think it's dope, like to see, I'm building a brand as well. So like, Rhythmic Radical is part of my brand, or it's one of my brands that I have. I have a couple, But yeah, man, like I'm excited about, what God is doing and how He's using me during this time, and how I can make an impact to like inspire other people to basically like level up, right? So like I'm not ever like tripping off of, like she was talking about money ain't a big deal. Like for me, like, and we'll talk about this too in a minute. But I feel like right now, like, to be honest with you, who you gonna be mad at because they ain't got no money right now? Like it's like 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 it's millions of people not working right now. So for you to be asking for all these crazy amounts of money right now, it's just like, yo, like you gotta chill. You know what I mean? So it's honestly, you gotta be a person, you know what I'm saying, who willing to operate with integrity. You gotta be a person, first of all, who's willing to show up, right? Like a lot of people say they're gonna do stuff and don't do it, right? So like if you punctual to a gig, if you actually show up with all your equipment, right? Because you know how many times I didn't have to run somewhere to go to Guitar Center real quick to get somebody, I don't know, strings or what? It's like, bro, like what the heck are you doing? You play guitar. How do you need strings on the day of a gig? You should have had strings last week. I just talked to you two, 3 days before. Like, hey, you good? You got it, everything you need? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, well, why am I going to Guitar Center the day of to buy strings? Like, what are we doing? So it's about preparation, right? It's about being a people person, right? It's about being willing to help somebody else. And at the end of the day, it's like, what can we do to level up our circumstance and our situation as a people? And to be honest, and I'm gonna talk about this, and then we'll get into like one of the other points that I want to get into as well. Like, how important is it when you're building a brand? Because see, this is the other part. Like, I never considered myself a brand until I was probably 29, right? And I'm 31 now.
Wow.
Right. So I never tripped off being no brand. I'm like, bro, I'm cool. Like, I'm not tripping off being no brand. I'm trying to figure out like other ways to venture into making money, like outside of branding myself as a musician. Cause I'm like, it feel like it ain't always a lot of money. And you know what I'm saying? You playing on stages and you always gone. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to be like Ryan Leslie. I ain't trying to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just want to be a touring musician. I want to have a product where people can use it and it can be something everybody can like build their whole network from and that type of thing. So like my aspirations, I felt like was a lot different than other people. And at the same time, like, you get critiqued because you're not touring and you're not doing all of this stuff and you only doing the local gigs and you ain't on a big stage, so ain't nobody really fooling with you until, right? So for me, like, how important is it, first of all, to have contracts and paperwork together when you're doing gigs? Let's help the people today. So whoever wants to go, let's do rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper. Okay, Ronell, you can go first, and then whoever want to go can go next. But how important is it to have your paperwork together when you're doing gigs? And I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm asking this question. Go ahead.
man, it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal,
Yeah.
man, because at the end of the day, man, like I said, they ain't gonna take you serious. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you one thing. Oh, bro, man, I'll pay you 500. You know what I'm saying, for the gig, and then when you get there, they like, oh, bro, man, we didn't even make that much at the door. We didn't make that much, man. So, you know, it's like, oh man, I can't, And then it's like, if you have a contract, at least you can send it ahead of time and talk about it. A lot of times when I do contracts, I talk to the person on the phone. I say, hey man, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. This is what we're doing. I mean, this is how we, if you whatever you want to pay for, whatever I have to pay for, let me know, so I could, make sure my business accounts are good and make sure, I could put money away for certain things. And but you know what I'm saying, it's a good and it's always good to have paperwork, man. It's always have to have a paper trail. You always want to have a paper trail or some type of text message or some type of something, because when you get legal, you have to have something to show the judge that, hey, this is what it was, and bam, bam, bam.
This is how I do it.
Yep.
Well, you know, now that we are people have like LLCs. First of all, you definitely need paperwork, like for legal reasons. A paper trail, just like he was saying. You need a paper trail for legal reasons, especially when taxes come around and everything else. But dude, I think every musician got a list of stories on why
Facts.
contracts are important.
Facts.
Uh, And I mean, so it's literally a few reasons why. Like one, because I think for the most part we have a heart to help people. So our intentions is to help people, and I think what happens is people look at that and be like, okay, I can take advantage of the situation. And then once you kind of boss up and you're like, okay, like yeah, no, this is not gonna happen no more. Then we kind of looked at like, what I'm saying, we hard to work with and all this other stuff. And then, but it's like, listen, man, at a certain time, everybody gonna have to level up to the standard of being professional. Um, and that's what people just need to realize. It don't matter how small the circuit is or how big, because big situations done messed over people as well as small situations. So
Yes,
everybody gonna have to, just from a overall standpoint, everybody's really gonna have to level it up, and be professional. Because I done been in a few situations like, dude, like a few summers ago, I would say no, I think it's last summer. Last summer, dude, we had a situation where we had a residency at a restaurant, and everything was going, what I'm saying, everything was going to be good. The promoter, hyped it up. Like, I kind of I kind of put the business in somebody else's hands because they the one that put us on the gig. So I was like, okay, they have our back, whatever. The promoter, God, this dude from St. Louis, whatever, came out here and this big situation. We like, okay, cool, and it was a good financial situation. So I'm like, cool. So I like canceled stuff and what I'm saying? Like, bet kind of centered my whole summer around this situation. And when I say, like, it didn't even get off the ground yet before it crumbled, like, we did 1 weekend. And, like, when I say we didn't even get paid for that 1 weekend,
Jeez.
we did Friday, Saturday, and then we were supposed to get paid that Monday because it was a big lump sum. And dude, when I say that promoter played us smooth to the left, um, and it was really, and some of it was our fault because once again I put the business part in somebody else's hands, so there was already supposed to be contract signed. But we was like, they opened up this weekend, we'll sign them. So we kind of, didn't really push the issue, like whatever. And dude, when I say that hurt us, like that killed my whole household for like a couple of months off of that. Um, and I think that's the other aspect that people don't understand. So for us musicians and producers and stuff, like, listen, this is our livelihood. Like, we have, we have a family. Like, I've been married almost what, 6 years. My family depends on the bread that I bring in. You know what I'm saying? So when situations like that happen, it's not only me that suffers. Like my whole family. I got a wife and kids. So my whole family, my whole household suffers. You know what I'm saying? And as well as y'all, like, listen, man, when contracts is not signed, when stuff is, when stuff go bad, listen, we gotta pick up the pieces. And then, what I'm saying? So from the outside looking in, it's kind of like, oh, would that be all right? They just musicians, woo, woo, woo. Like, no, man, this how we eat. This, what I'm saying? This is how we live. So man, signing contracts is super important. Not only legally, but just from safe of mind. Because now, if something go wrong, just like Ronell said, like, man, you got paperwork, bet we going to the judge. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? We about to get this stuff handled.
Tricky.
that makes sense.
All right, now the reason I'm asking about this is because I could listen. I can tell you so many stories about, hey, bro, we're gonna take care of you. Hey, you the homie. Hey, you solid. Hey, we like the way you play. Hey, we want you to come through. Hey, like you dope and blah 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 blah. And listen, there have been so many times. Like I remember one gig, I drove all the way to Fresno for a gig. Right, we had a rehearsal the day before. Supposed to pay like 250, whatever. Cool. I'm not even tripping. I get to Fresno, play for the service or whatever, get done. It's for this conference, right? Okay, so they done brought in all these major artists and like it's gonna be dope, it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be solid. Bro, they handed me $50 and was like, "Thank you for coming. We're gonna send you the rest of the mail in like a week."
No, no,
Week came and gone.
no.
Never seen anything. Had the audacity to call me back and was like, "Hey man, we really enjoyed the way you played and we want you to come back." And I'm sitting there like, I'm like, listen, player, let me help you understand something. You for me, you get one time with me, right? It has to be a very drastic situation, like the promoter didn't pay you as the artist what you were supposed to get paid. Stuff like in certain circumstances where you're willing to be maybe a little lenient, but like this particular situation, no, I'm cool, dog. Like, let me help you. So what you could do is call losemynumber.com. You feel me? There it is. Because what I'm not getting ready to keep doing, right? And I'm one of the most. I mean, I'm cool. Like I'm not about to really cause no ruckus problem over no paper like that. But it get to a point to where you like, look,
it depends.
like it depends on the circumstance and situation. But like, if I need to be like these and flip this table over because y'all playing, I'll be willing to today. So just so y'all can understand, like I have 2 children. Like I'm not about to be sitting up here
Exactly.
playing games and like people catting off with gigs. Then you get mad when a contract is signed because you already know up front you weren't planning to pay us anyway. So stop playing, right? Like literally, like, and that's why I'm saying like that. See, the importance of a brand is when people take you more seriously, they stop playing with your money. See, that's what I
kind of beg to differ on that.
right?
I kind of beg to differ on that. I think your brand really should be your general overall person, what you want to represent as an individual or as an artist. That's your brand. Now, money doesn't make your brand. Getting paid doesn't make your brand. That contract is not your brand. You still have to represent what you say you're going to represent while you're out there. If you don't represent that, then there's something that you have to kind of look at. So that's like when you work for a big company, a major company, they tell you, you represent us in and out this building. So anything and everything you do is a representation of us. I represent Christ. I represent God. So anything and everything I do outside of any building, I'm representing God. So it's my brand, God's Poet, definitely is what I say it is. I am a representation of who sent me to give you these words. So poetically eclectic, that's I represent poetically eclectic. Any and every artist that's on poetically eclectic, they not cursing, they not doing all that. If you doing that and you on venues that do that, you cannot be a part of poetically eclectic because mine is a non-cursing venue. So therefore, I have to watch what I put and who I put on any level that I choose to. If anybody, that's like saying you got a sex offender playing with the band. You
That's
knew
right.
him. That person represents your brand. So now you're as a part. It's the whole thing. It's not just the money thing, a contractual thing. It is really an entire movement of what you choose to represent and how you choose to represent it. So I don't care about the contracts. I don't even get a recognition a lot of times. On being on a lot of venues, I don't even get. Well, we think. Guys. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, for me, the brand that I represent, it's about a life being saved. It's about a life coming to Christ. It's not about the money because God got me anyway. Like I said, I'm a jack of all trades. It don't matter. I'm gonna get paid regardless. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is not based on how much I get paid for this. Now don't get me wrong, I do have contracts. Even when I do free stuff, just to make you just to if we want to put it in that perspective, just to make sure things are going to go the way that we said they're going to go, just to protect yourself. I get it. You got to protect yourself. But at the end of the day, what is your first mindset when you do it? Is it about the money only, or is it really about what you say and your brand is about? Because then that's where it becomes a conflict to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Who are you representing?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about the price of the gig. It's about the business of the gig. So
Yep.
at the end of the day, if you as a company, so I get the brand is what I'm saying what you offer in your product, but it's also 50%. The other 50% is also about the business because you as a brand, if you're known for not paying people on time, if you're known for jipping people off of money, or you're known for just not being a person of your word, then that all of that affects your brand.
It does. It does.
So with the money, I don't think anybody was saying like, okay, like I need to get paid $6 million per
No.
gig. But at the end of the day, even if you say, listen, like I only got $25 to pay you to come do these couple songs. If I agree to it, then it's like cool. But you said you was gonna pay me $25. So as a
Right.
brand and as a paperwork, I need you to pay me the $25 because that's what you said.
But as
So
a
you don't
brand,
That's all we're
is
saying.
that the concern? Is that your first concern as a
No,
brand?
no,
What is your
no.
my
mission?
concern is not
You know what I'm
my
saying?
concern is not about the amount. My concern is about you keeping your word.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm talking about it from the perspective of this.
Keeping your word.
Imagine people that don't have a brand that are taking these gigs,
Or
right?
don't
Because it's
even know what a brand is.
my point exactly. So you don't even know to have a contract because you're so excited to be on a big stage that you just assume, right? And this is why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. Like you having a brand and it being a company, and you formulating it as a company means you have to understand how a company operates, right? So you already know, like people because you had experience. Like I feel like a lot of musicians have to have LLCs to protect ourselves from people who try to take advantage of us on these gigs because we do have good hearts and we do really care about people, right? So like when I've done different gigs or whatever that I've done, I didn't have a contract every time I did something. No, but what I'm saying is for cats who have no idea what we're talking about, this is why I'm talking about it, because some people have no clue that an LLC is needed or that you need to have a contract when you're doing a gig, right? Because you 16 and they didn't invited you to play in some musical and they didn't guaranteed you some money. So you didn't counted your money because you know what I'm saying beforehand because you don't understand financial literacy. So my dad always told me until it's in your pocket, don't count it, right? But but when somebody promises
Okay, so this is my question.
$300 a show, right? Like that stuff you start to, you know what I'm saying? You start to add that up in your mind, like, okay, well, I'm gonna be making this much. I got daycare, I got childcare, I got, you know what I'm saying? Like I got this to pay, I got that to pay. And if you don't understand how to operate as a musician, what you have to understand is that there's a point in time where, you know what I'm saying? Like people promise you stuff all the time, but if you don't have nothing to protect yourself on the back end, while you kind-hearted, while you good-hearted, while you want to do the things of ministry and do the things for God, because I'm a minister first, right? So at the end of the day, my whole premise is not taking the gig because of how much you telling me I'm gonna make. That has nothing to do with why I'm doing it. It has more so to do with the fact of the time spent that I'm away from my family, the time spent that I have to do the things that I have to do to take care of my kids. Like all of that stuff adds up. So if I'm gonna be gone on the road and I'm gonna have to be away from my kid for 6 months, and you didn't flew me out somewhere, and now I gotta fly myself back, and then now I gotta find another job, and now I gotta do all this other stuff that I canceled on. That having those contracts and stuff in place protects me as an individual, not for me taking the opportunity or not for me not wanting to do it, but it's just something that protects me on the back end just in case something does happen, right? And I feel like we don't have enough conversations about, like, especially during clinics, we talk more about drum playing than we do about business. Right? We talk more about like you were saying, you teaching people all the aspects of how to do poetry, like cadences and different things. So you could be a better poet. But how often do we take out the time to help people be better when it comes to managing their finances and operating effectively so that your family will be cool? Because if somebody do you wrong at the end of the day, you're going to think twice when they ask you again whether you called to do the task or not. Right? So if I'm called to preach, and I know that I'm called to preach, but then the last time you put me up at 12 o'clock midnight and there was 2 people left in the building, I'm going to think twice when the next time you ask me, like, hey, so just so we clear, right? Just so we have an understanding what's going on and how are we going to operate, because these are things that I need to know so that I could do effective ministry, not because I'm worried about
effective ministry is ministry if it's one person in the audience. You still
absolutely
effective. You know, like I said, it's about. I guess I'm different. You know, and everybody on this panel already know me, so the ones that do know me and know how I am, I'm just kind of different in that aspect. Ministry is ministry, whether it's 6 months, 5 months, 2 years. Ministry is ministry. There is no conjunction in that. So if God called me to do this, whether I get paid or not, I'm going to do it. You know, so that's my difference with that. There is no conjunction. If my family gonna be taken care of. If God gave me this to do and told me to do it, my family's already taken care of. He already supplied my needs. So I'm not even worried about that. So for me, that's why I say I'm different with a lot of things, and I get where y'all coming from. But for me, I'm different because I'm one who my mission first is the people, and and everybody, nobody on here, everybody knows me. I've been blessed, to be on venues, to open up for people, to be traveling, I've done all those things, and like I said, I'm still getting checks from the first album.
Right.
I didn't even put for sale the second album, and I'm just giving that away. But God literally will bless if your mindset is the right way. Now, I do get the business aspect. Like I said, I get where you guys are coming from. But as for me, I think I'm just different, because for me, when it comes to ministry, that is my strict point of it. It's ministry. So whether I get paid or don't, whether they say they're going to give it to me or not, I'm still going to be effective, because that's what God told me to do. That's where I'm coming from.
No, I got that totally. And trust me, you talking to an individual on here that takes more gigs for free than probably any other musician in the Bay Area. So, so I'm not just saying it because I'm saying it in this way because there are people who do not know, right? There are people who have no clue, right? And see, the other side of this conversation is this: we all five of us on here are people who operate in integrity. Right. So when we say we're going to do something, we do it. But for those individuals who not going to come through and they already know they're not going to come through and they're asking you anyway, you got to protect yourself. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, there has to be a measure of accountability that transpires when people don't come through on what they're saying. That's all I'm saying. Right. So I totally agree with what you're saying. And when it comes to ministry and when it comes to putting God first in that environment and doing whatever you got to do to make sure God's name is known. At the same time, I do want to make sure my kid is gonna have food when I get back from a ministry endeavor, right? So like,
and regardless of how the perspective, the narrative is still the same. The narrative is still we're pushing the name of Jesus, but the reality also is that even with ministry, there's still a business part, and like you were saying, Dom, we don't talk about that end of it as far as to make sure people are understand that there is a still small business part and how to correctly operate so there's no friction, what I'm saying, whatever. Not only in the body of Christ, but just in general. But regardless of the fact, there's still a business part, and I feel like God Himself definitely want us to be knowledgeable of how everything how everything operates, from a business part, because as any company or any CEO or of any business, there's stuff that you have to do, there's stuff you have to put in place to protect yourself. There's nothing wrong, with protecting yourself. I don't think the narrative of like whether how much it is or whether we're doing free or not free. I don't think that's necessarily the issue. It's just the fact that at the end of the day, we still got to recognize that definitely there is a business and we need to make sure that either us as either the company or the consumer or whatever, everything still has to be in place. And I feel like it's our duty to not only make sure stuff in place, um, but to teach the upcoming like generation and upcoming row of musicians, whatever, and not just musicians, business owners in general, to understand like, yo, it's definitely important, and it's obedient, honestly, to God to make sure your business is straight, to make sure that you operate. To me, that's the side of operating in integrity, is making sure your business is straight, and letting your yes be yes and your no's be no's, like that's a part of it.
now, as far as business is concerned, like for people who they may not know, like how hard is it to form an LLC for what you're trying to do as a musician? Period.
It only costs $400.
It's money. It's just money.
It only costs $400.
Keeping up with your stuff.
Yep.
Go down to the city building and apply for it.
Absolutely. Now, why would you do that as a musician? What would be the ultimate goal if you're forming an LLC? What's your ultimate goal in forming it as a musician, right?
As a musician,
Because
to have the it keeps you rooted and grounded in what you believe in. It's basically your brand.
Mm-hmm.
So
Promotion is a
Pastor,
tax thing.
oh, I'm sorry. What you
No,
say?
No, I
plus
said
like tax
promotion is a tax
paying and
thing.
all that.
Right.
So I was gonna say like even Pastor brand. So what you gotta understand is as a musician, and honestly, it's not that I just realized this, but really getting knowledgeable about it the last couple of years. So at the end of the day, listen, you're not gonna be gigging forever. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, outside of like, playing at Seven Seas probably when you like 86 years old. But listen, you're not gonna be, what I'm saying, you're not gonna always be able to gig. So now LLC kind of puts you as a business, like, what I'm saying, as far as and even in that mode of like, like making money, I guess like in your sleep, whatever, or having multiple streams of income, it kind of put it under umbrella. So I can relate it to so pretty much it's like the same nature. So we doing a gig, whatever, right? So y'all know the feel how the gig feels where if you doing the gig with tracks or without tracks. You know what I'm saying? So if you doing a gig without tracks, like yeah, I mean it might sound cool, but sometimes the tempo can vary. Sometimes stuff can go left. You know what I'm saying? So when you do gigs with click tracks or stems, whatever, it kind of brings everything together. It kind of keeps everything. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like in
see.
the motion, kind of keeps everything, holds everything together. And to me, that's what LLC does. A LLC kind of it not only protects you, but it keeps you together as a business, and it allows you to operate not just as like just a musician because once again that's gonna run dry. Like you gotta be able to do something else besides gig. So now as an LLC, it kind of now you operating as a business. So now like okay, what do you offer? How can you offer it? Now you know what I'm saying. These contracts in place. You know what I'm saying. So now you operate as a business, not just like a regular musician. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it
That
makes
makes
sense.
sense, Doc. That makes sense, Doc.
Yeah, and the reason, like I said, the reason I'm mentioning any of this stuff is because I don't feel like this is a heavy enough emphasis that's discussed at clinics, right? Most of the clinics that we deal with, they talking about your ability to play better, or it's teaching you like how to handle like being on a road or things of that nature. But it doesn't always highlight the aspects of how to operate like as a company or building a brand, right? So that's why I was like, well, let's take out the opportunity now since we got this platform, and let's kind of initiate this conversation and get our wheels turning to be able to help like the future generation who coming after us to like avoid these pitfalls. Like, hey, yes, while you're playing and while you gigging on these main stages and while you playing for all these major artists or whatever, like you have to consider building something outside of your playing, right? That'll sustain you in the future. So like it's people like she's talking about right now, like she was in a way she prepared herself for the pandemic in a sense because she had put out a product that people could purchase that she's still making money off of, even though she's not per se singing that song right in the moment. So that's when I'm talking about building a something that's basically going to maintain you in the future. Like that's the side that I feel like we should focus on a little bit more, outside of just playing because it's just as important. So while you could do as many chops as it is up under the sun, like, are you gonna be able to eat while you sitting at the dinner table? You getting a cash app, you getting a check, you getting a Zelle, you getting a deposit, right? While you sitting there because somebody done bought something from your brand, somebody has bought some of your music, somebody is doing something to basically further your legacy and your imprint in the earth because you built something outside of what you was doing on the stage in the moment, right?
And
So
at the same time, like the flip side to that is
yeah,
also the LLC and just the business side of what you do also creates your identity. So now it's
mhm.
like, who are you outside of these gigs? Because so I was watching some years ago. This drum, y'all know Marges. They used to play for Nas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he was putting these videos out, and at first, everybody was like calling him crazy, like, cause he was like, listen, I ain't worried about no Nas gig, like I'm the gig, like what I'm saying, people work with me, woo woo woo. So people just like, oh, he arrogant and woo woo woo, but they wasn't really paying attention to what he was saying, because at the end of the day, yes, you could tour with Beyonce, you could tour with Jay, whatever, but at the drop of a dime, what if Beyonce Jay was like, you know what, I'm done, like I'm not singing no
It's over
more.
for you,
I'm
Doc.
not
See you
performing
later.
no more. Like I'm done. So then what happens? because I've seen that. Like I've seen the homies on tour with people, and then that tour stops, and then now listen, like they at home, they hit you for rides, they don't got equipment, and you know what I'm saying, like they calling people begging for gigs, begging for money, like hey man, I just need, you know what I'm saying, I just need a couple dollars so I can buy my baby some diapers, like whatever. Like yo, so you know what I'm saying, like the gigs are cool, but then like who are you? Like what is your identity? What do you bring to the table? Like you know what I'm saying? What do you bring? Like who are you and how are you able to operate without those people? Without
Right.
gigging for you know what I'm saying, for Donnie McClurkin, or you know what I'm saying, like what is, because once again, all these people is not gonna be gigging forever. Donnie McClurkin not gonna be gigging for the, you know what I'm saying, the next 30 years. Like these, as people getting older, people are like, listen, I'm chilling now.
Right.
Like, and I know for me, my dream gig was out. Listen, I want to play. I'm a huge Anita Baker fan. I'm a huge, and I was like, listen, like somehow, some way, I need to gig with Anita Baker. And then she was like, I'm about to retire, and I was like, see, that's the stuff I'm talking about right there. Like that hurt my feelings. Like, you know, like yo. So, but still, it's like okay, but if I was literally depending on that gig though, you know what I'm saying? That's like if I just set my whole life and it was like, no, I'm just gonna work towards this and I'm gonna gig with her. Once again, even if she would have picked me up, so then let's say she would have picked me up, I'm like, all right, bet we gonna go on the road, and then we was on the road for 6 months, and then she was like, oh, I'm done. So now you don't work your whole life for this one gig, and it's done, and now you don't got nothing to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that, like you said, Dom, that's something that needs to be talked about, and I try to do, because the other part of my brand is to me is more motivational than anything. Like for the people who don't know this stuff and the people who don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, they're able to accomplish anything outside of somebody else's identity. Like I feel like that's part of my brand to help them, encourage them, like yo, like yes you can, like find out what's your voice, who you are, and then let, you know what I'm saying, I'm here to help you get that rolling.
You think about it, 3 years ago, we did the same thing, but then nobody show up. I had uh, probably like 5 or 10 people in the audience, and Joe Woolfolk came in, Karan Harrison came in. Uh, I had one of my Soul Tone brothers come in, Randy Dandy, um, um, and they all came in to do that particular thing that we're talking about right now, about far as of where, how you're going to get paid, um, um, the contract situation, everything. It was there for you, but nobody showed up. Nobody believed in the vision that uh, we're trying to push out there. How it says that people's perish without the lack of knowledge. So we was trying to give the lack of knowledge at that time, but they was not showing up. And I'm just praying to God that they show up this time, because of far as of this town, it's who you know. And I'm gonna talk about this person, and they don't even know nothing about you. You understand?
Yeah, I hear you.
I think the also the flip side to even what Roger's saying is also just being consistent. I think consistency is probably one of the major tools, because at the end of the day, with you doing a product of any sort, whether it's a clinic, a concert, you know, anything, it's kind of unrealistic for. I mean, sometimes it can take off overnight. Sometimes you can get all support, you know, that you possibly can. All 3 billion people in Vegas to show up. But being able to keep it going, you know what I'm saying? That's good that Roderick is still keeping this going. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Drummers United has still been consistent. Whether
Yep.
it's, you know what I'm saying, no matter what the numbers is, Drummers United still being consistent. So that's the thing that people need to focus on. Like, listen, being consistent, because eventually, and even if people don't show up or whatever the case, that still don't mean like God's not blessing. You know what I'm saying? God is still blessing. There's literally a lesson in any and everything. So the main part is just really being consistent, and then watching pretty much just the fruits from your labor eventually manifest. But more than anything, I don't think people should don't necessarily look at the result as the overall main factor. I think just look at just being consistent and making sure that your product is A1. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure whatever you present, whatever your product is, make sure that is 100. That way, you know what I'm saying, when they do take off, you don't have to backtrack.
No, absolutely. And I think for me, like the part that's encouraging for me is the fact that right, like I've kind of been in Vegas, kind of off and on, for like the last couple of months. And just in being there the last couple of months, like I done made a bunch of connections. You feel me? Like just just being cool. Not coming in with my own agenda, like just meeting people, just kicking it, chilling, like and I think what's going on is like a lot of people have like they own kind of thing they want to do
Motive.
all the
For
time.
different motives.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, hey, if it's not in my corner, if it's not in my vein, if it's not in the avenue I want to rock with, then I don't really know. If I ain't the headliner, if I ain't the person in the front, like this is what it is. And for me, like it's like, bro, I ain't coming in on none of that. Like I'm just trying to help, right? Like so when me and Roger was talking, like he was like, hey man, like, can you help me? Sure. Right? It wasn't on no, I need to be the I wasn't even supposed to be playing. Right? So like I was helping him making sure the stream was on point. And then through our conversation, he was like, well, I would love to have you play. Okay, cool. Like, but I wasn't even coming to play. I was coming to help him make sure that because of the pandemic, that because of his vision, I felt like it was something that was needed during this time. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Right. So it ain't even like people don't understand. They get it twisted. Like I got to come in with my press kit and I got to come in with, man, look, if you're a person and you cool and you actually treat people like people, right, and you just have a good time, you know how to be personable, like you will get a lot further than trying to have all these contracts and all, you know what I'm saying? Because people, they rock with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Armani, that's my dude. Right. So like if Armani is about to get into a squad, I'm catching a flight. Like fact, like no issue, no problem, right? Because that's my dude. So, but I just met Armani. Like it ain't even like I've been doing it, but that's just how I am in general. So it's like if I fool with you, I fool with you. If I don't fool with you, I don't fool with you. And it ain't because I don't like you and because I don't, it's just because I probably don't know you and I just haven't been around you long enough to get to know you. But I feel like when we put all of our agendas aside and we stop tripping off trying to be the head honcho all the time, because I put my hand on the Bible, like and Swift can tell you, Sultan can tell you right now. When we talk, all I was trying to do was show him this platform. That was it. It wasn't even on no like. I'm just like, hey, this is what this does. This is what you'll be able to do. You're trying to put a clinic together. This is how you operate it. Cool. That turned into now him texting me.
Truly thankful. Truly thankful.
You know what I'm saying? Like him hitting me up. Now he gonna give me some food. You feel me? God bless you. And Armani get some food, and him and Dave and everybody. We getting some food now. But the thing,
definitely gonna be over eating.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is the principle of what I'm saying is we gotta come off of our own personal, like it gotta be us and against everybody else. I'm always for like collaborating with other people. Like, so when Armani reached out to me and was like, hey bro, like, is it cool if you play on the album? Cool. What do I need to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll pay for my flight, I'll do whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I see now Jason getting on here talking about I don't know you don't. I ain't fooling with Jason. Jason is a beast. Anyway, and y'all gonna hear why I'm saying he a beast too, because we put in that work on that EP. God bless you. But like we listen, look. But what I'm saying is, bro, is I'm not about like all the, and I think when we talk about Drummers United, like you need people who willing to come in and try to unify the whole thing.
Basically, right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know Vejan had did like one band, one sound, right? And I met him at his studio that last time I was out there, right? And we got to chop it up, and he kind of told me some of his story. And like even then, like I'm sitting on the couch in the studio, I'm just chopping it up. Like I ain't tripping off none of that. I'm asking him a bunch of questions. Hey, bro, like how did you do this? And Tama is dope. And how did you get on with them? And like we just chilling. Like and I'm on no like agenda. I'm not tripping off nothing. Like ain't nobody worried about none of that. It's just like God, the stuff that God has for me is gonna happen in His time in anyway, right? So I ain't got to trip, and I ain't got to make $1 million every time I do a hit neither. Like like it is what it is. Like if this is what you can afford right now, cool. Like let's rock. Like because right now this is the time where the people who willing to be courageous enough to get out there and to help and to do real ministry. You feel me? It puts you in a different position to where you're able to now help people on the back end. So now, if I need a keyboard player for something, you already know, right? Because it's
there, bro.
But the thing is because people have the wrong mentality.
It's called relationships.
Absolutely. That's what I was really getting ready to say. It's like at the end of the day, the most important thing you have in music is relationships. Right? Like no matter how well you can play it, no matter how like everybody on here is my friend. Like like and mind you, I haven't been knowing y'all two that long. Like I've been knowing Armani a little longer than you. And we all still talk. Like we all still chilling. Like we all still cool. And at the end of the day, like what are we all trying to build together? At the end of the day, is my thing. Like, can we help each other to level up? Like, can we help each other be better? Like, what all can we do to make sure we all on point? So when he was like,
and I think that's the main thing that's the main thing that needs to be that's the main thing that needs to be taught to these younger, some like younger generation and stuff, because people have no idea like how far just lending a helping hand can get you. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the places that I've been wasn't because like I was overly charging, like because honestly, listen, even from my brand and kind of what Ona was saying before, listen, I don't necessarily trip about the money. Like I don't do it for the money.
Right.
Like I was saying earlier when you first asked me about my brand, like my main thing is to see people vision come to pass. Like that's what brings me to me. That's my version of what success is. My success is seeing other people's vision and knowing that I was a helping hand on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else's vision. Even so, meeting and I know Dom, like Faith Anderson and stuff.
Yeah.
So like even my interactions with her, like our relationship like blossomed just because I was just willing to help. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she had an event, she needed a back line, and usually you know how people are like, oh, you got famous people coming, oh, I need $600 for me to do. Like no, man, listen, I got all my equipment from my house and called and whatever I didn't have, called the homies like, hey, I need to borrow this real quick and made sure you know what I'm saying. I did what I could do for her event. And to me, that sparked the relationship. Like, yo, like he cool. Cause he's not about the money, like kind of what you were saying, Dom. Like it's not about situation. You know what I'm saying? So the same scenario, like, bro, if you was to call me, like, bro, I only got $50, but I need you for like, man, listen, I ain't even tripping. Like I'm there. Like let's figure out how to make this happen. And that's kind of what I kind of pride my brand off of. Like, listen, I'm helping people's vision come to pass, and them relationships will open it because people look out for you. The same thing with Erica. Like, listen, like I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, Erica been calling me for years about stuff. It's like, listen, whatever you can, like, cool. But that relationship, it sticks with you because you know what I'm saying. With Erica, it's like, bet you looked out for me, bet I'm about to look out for you, and then that's how the relationship grows. And you know what I'm saying. I feel like the generation need to understand because the flip side is as musicians, you know what I'm saying, especially in the church, like we looked at it as well, they just money hungry. People have no ideas the stuff that we done, man. People have no idea the stuff we've done for people or how underpaid we've been. You know what I'm saying? Because like even Dom, Dom, you work with me, so anything I do, like I'm giving my 100. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like even video shooting, bro. I'm showing up with laptops and keyboards and you know what I'm saying? Like, however I can help, I'm giving like my all. So people don't really see that. They just see, oh well, he just want money and woo. Like, no, it's not really about that. And just because one person is like that, don't mean all the musicians is like that. So if we, you know, kind of do our part and just making sure, like, that, especially the younger generation, understand, like, listen, there is a balance between, like, you know, the money and just building relationships and understand what that balance is. And that's why I was getting that earlier when Onu was talking about the whole like money thing. Like, listen, there's a balance. Like, absolutely, God will supply your every need, but you need to know the balance between the two and know how everything operates so you can become successful.
Yep. I mean, and at the end of the day, like how you handle people matters. Because look, I promise you, listen, musicians oftentimes are the least pastored, right? They're not pastored and they're not paid like in the way that everybody thinks that they're paid. So everybody else in church gets a check consistently, right? Regardless, see, and he's saying it right here. Musicians are always underpaid and underappreciated, right? So, so literally, like musicians are oftentimes they're not pastored all the time, and they're not paid all the time. So a lot of times for these anniversaries, while you see us at musicals and you see us at all these different things that somebody's having for the anniversary, auntie birthday party, little sister birthday, auntie graduation, whatever, the assumption is, oh, he only playing because he got paid. Like 90% of the times for them outside little endeavors, you may get a play. I mean, unless you go to Roderick House, but we still working on that. But what I'm saying is that's my dude. I'm gonna mess with him. I'm gonna mess with him always, right? But the reality is a lot of times musicians are underpaid, they underserved, right? And the expectation is like, we want you to be consistent. We want you to be here. We want you to show up on time. We want you to make sure you got all your ducks in a row. But the reality is a lot of times we end up getting we end up getting the short end of the deal. And so, like, I feel like now one of the other sides, even though this coin is like we are forced a lot of times because we're not paid right or we're not paid well all the time. We are forced to a lot of times to have to leave church just to make a living, right? Or we have to go, we have to do like 12,000 services, right? In order for you to be able to make a sustainable living. And then it becomes a problem because that's wear and tear on your body, that's wear and tear on your car, that's wear and tear on your family, that's wear and tear on all these different things that you got going on, right? Because you really want to be able to be home to be there for your kids' game, but you can't because you got a gig on Friday. Because Friday night is like gig night, right? And then you want to be able to do all these other things, but like people don't understand all the sacrifices that musicians really make in order for them to be present and to make sure their stuff is on point. And to make, first of all, like Ronell could tell you, like just been with letting other cats borrow your stuff because you trying to be cool. Listen,
they will break your stuff. Break your stuff and not pay for it, bro.
Correct.
Like I had a cymbal broke, bro. Like I'm endorsed with like, Domain. So I had a cymbal broke. I mean, one of my boys, I ain't gonna put him out there, but one of my boys, basically cracked my cymbal at a gig. The headline drummer called me and said, "Ron, I know this was one of your drum sets. I noticed some of your cymbals that you have, but this dude up here going 8, just because he seen me walk through the door. And I already know it's your stuff because I know your drum sets and I hang around you. So I know you. So the dude didn't even want to pay me, bro, for my stuff. And I had to like really like get on him like, hey, bro, like you're gonna pay me for this cymbal, bro. Like he already paid me to rent the stuff, but that was a security deposit. But when I told you, when you break my stuff, that's why I do contracts. When you break my stuff, I'm gonna break you.
Contracts, come on, dog.
I'm gonna break you. I'm gonna break because I'm not doing no listening when it comes to my symbol. I can show you the symbol right now. Matter of fact, let me show you the symbol right now, bro.
Wow.
Let me go to my symbol collection and get the symbol that he actually. So this is a domain.
Contracts.
So this is a domain symbol. This is my first endorsement, one of my first endorsement symbols, right? This whole thing right here is cracked, bro. It's like
I'm looking at it. Wow.
Bruh. And then he didn't want to pay. This is a 18-inch symbol. How do you crack an 18 inch. Now the owner of the company called me and saw the video work that he did because he did some video work, and he said, "Bruh, I saw him playing on your stuff, and it seemed like it was a crack in it." I said, "Bruh, I need my free, there's free symbols, bro. I need my warranty." He's like, "I got you. Don't have a trip." So they sent me 2 symbols for this one,
Wow.
just to make sure, I had symbols for the tours I've been on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to do contracts, bro. That's why you got to, stand by your brand. If people don't know, man. So many people have messed me over out here. I ain't going to say a whole bunch of people names, but at the end of the day, guess what? I'm still here. You still here. We all still here, and it's time to teach the younger people and even the older people how to do
Yes,
what they're
sir.
supposed to do. How
Bro,
to
he
do what
was
they're
playing
supposed
on
to do.
your sticks with some brick sticks, dog.
Bruh, this right here, it's cracked all the way to the bell, almost to the bell, bro.
Bro,
Like
he
almost
had
to the
metal,
bell,
bro. He was playing
bro,
on that drum set with sledgehammers, dog.
bruh, bruh. And this wasn't even one of my. This was a kit that I just, somebody. I was blessed to, just grab. You know what I'm saying? Like, I play with Pearl. I play all Pearl equipment. So all Pearl drum sets. So it's just a drum set that I was like, all right, bro, it's good, man. I got it for, a good little price, actually a great little price. But I was like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, you need to take care of your business, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't call nobody if you ain't got no money. That's all I'll be saying. Don't
Amen.
call me.
Ooh.
Amen.
Don't call me.
Amen.
Don't call me if you ain't got
Hey,
no money. Or if you ain't
Armani,
got nothing, put aside.
Yo,
bro,
huh?
because we can't see your video. So go out and come back in.
Okay.
You
Yeah, but
good?
like I said, man, even Raj, bro. I talked to you. I talked to you a year and a half, bro. A year and a half
Yeah.
ago. And it's crazy because I met Dom this last week for some branding stuff that we wanted to do. And I said, "Hey, bro," he told me about Drummers United. I was like, "Hey, bro." I was like, I talked to Raj. I knew exactly who he was talking about because you reached out to me for me to come down there. But it's the pandemic. I know the pandemic. I know you had surgery. I know you had all this stuff going on. But like I said, I got your back, bro. And Dom could tell you if I say I got your back, uh,
I already know it. I already seen it. It's already in your heart.
yeah, I'll fly down the hot. Listen, I got my. If it's okay with you, I wanted to put this on live too. And I talked to Dom with it yesterday. My management team is coming with me.
Wow. So you got 2 kits or whatever this you can use.
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know that I wanted to let you know that hey, online, on live, that hey, I got my team coming down with me. They ready. You know what I'm saying? They ready to fly down ASAP, like with no problem, bro. They was like, oh, we go out to Vegas with you. It was good. So I said, because I usually do it. I'm getting married. I'm getting married too. So I'm like, man, like my manager was
Congratulations,
like,
brother.
she was like, is the wife coming down? I said, man, I said, I don't, this is a business trip. You know what I'm saying? So
Check
she
it
come
out. Do
with
you
me.
need a member? You want me to marry you?
Huh?
You know they got the Capitals. You going to Vegas, Doc? Look.
Yeah. But we already got we already got everything planned out, man. We got a wedding. We get married. We get married on the what is it? On the
I'm messing
14th.
with you.
No, it's
I
good.
was
If you
about to
want to
say,
come through,
dog, I'll sing at your wedding, dog.
hey, bro, you come through to the reception, bro. I'm having I MD for the Ram Bernard from BET. So I'm music director for him. So
Awesome.
he's coming down to sing for me for my reception, bro. So I told him, I said, I got your back, bro. It's contract time. I said, I said, if you wanna come down here, bro, it's good. I got the money. See, the thing about me, it's one thing I tell Dom, like I tell Dom, I always try to set money aside for no matter if it's not my business account or if it's my regular account, or I got a heck of banking accounts, but I got money in every banking account, and I'm good enough to say, all right, if I want you to come, because I'm working on my own album right now, and it's been
Amen.
a blessing to me. It's been a blessing, bro. So that's what I'm
Amen.
saying. That's what I'm saying. If you really set time aside to really brand yourself out, or and do contracts and do everything, you will learn like how to treat people. You know what I'm saying? And they come for free. I got half of the musicians on my album, bro, it came for free for me. They drove from far near to just play with me, bro, just because of my name. I mean, just because I treat people well. So I got y'all back, man.
Amen.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
And see, I mean,
congratulations.
the whole reason I want to really get on here today was because I wanted to have these conversations that oftentimes are not able to be had. Now, Kevin Hayden, like this cat be, I don't know if y'all ever watched one of his lives before. This cat be going in, right? Like on all things musicians. But my thing is like I feel like we need more spaces, especially during this time, to be able to have these honest conversations about music, like the pandemic, musicianship, how to handle your business, how to build relationships with people. I mean, because to be honest with you, when you really talk about what's the main thing that men fall out, right? It's either money or a woman. It's
Exactly.
one, right? So if you can figure out how to maintain your relationship and keep it over there, and you ain't bothering mine, we good, right? And if you handle your money right and you take care of your business, 90% of the time, most of the gripe that people have is usually that. Now, other stuff is just cats just being on some smirkish little, like, high school girl drama type dumb stuff. But for the most part, right, a guy is gonna be solid with you if you don't bother his woman and if you ain't playing with his chip. That's like typically the prerequisite, right? And so, like for me, I wanted to be able to have this space and this time to be able to have these honest conversations to where we able to come on and just like talk and just express, you know what I'm saying? Like just talk about music, just talk about life, talk about ministry, and talk about kind of the side that most people talk about off the air. Like I like to bring that stuff on the air. Like let's have that
On
conversation
the air, yeah.
right here, like so everybody can see, everybody can hear, everybody can know that it ain't just them, right? So see Beckton on here now. See, so it ain't just them that's dealing with these crazy circumstances and situations. And right, like Beckton, when I came to Cork and Thorn, right, to support Armani, right? And so when I came up there, I didn't say nothing about what I did. When I introduced myself to none of the musicians, I just said, "Hey, bro, what's going on? I'm down." Nobody knew who I was. I wasn't coming in there trying to impress nobody. I'm just chilling. Like, first of all, it's a night that I don't have to play and I get to sit down. Yes, like, and I can support the homies and what they doing for sure. Like, I ain't gotta sweat my shirt out, and I ain't gotta like haul no gear, and I ain't gotta be there like for a rehearsal earlier in the day, and then come later that night and be there an hour and a half early. To get whatever the pay is gonna be, and I'm thirsty. I'm on a bigger side, praise God, but we coming down. But you be thirsty playing, and they ain't got no more water. And, it's be like, bro, first of all, like, come on, bro, like, help me, please. I'm dying up here. But right, like, I got to chill, so I met Beckton there at the gig. A couple of days later, Beckton, I guess, found me on Facebook and was like, "Oh, this is the dude I met the other night at Cork and Thorn. Let me add him." Right, so it wasn't on no like dumb stuff. And this is what I'm saying. Like, if you be cool with people, people will be cool with you, unless they got some whole jealousy thing and some agenda thing. Like, I try to knock all that stuff out the way. Like, I don't care if I got more money than you. Here's 150. Here's $500. If that's what's gonna make you be cool, then here. Like, I ain't tripping off that stuff. That stuff is irrelevant to me because at the end of the day, like, they shooting us dead in the street, right? And we ain't got nobody that come on there. Like, we focusing on the wrong stuff. Like, musicians are still arguing over who better in the city. Like, who cares, bro? Like, we dying out here. Like, ain't nobody tripping, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't come in like, hey, let me play real quick. I didn't text Armani like, hey, bro, is it cool if I play on one of the songs? Like, bro, no. Like, send
Hey,
the free.
bro, side note. Hey, side note, because somebody did that night.
See that?
Hey, somebody did that night. Somebody was like, hey, bro. Hey,
I hate it.
You play the last song, bro.
I hate it.
Like, this is not an open mic. Like, this is actually
this ain't offering at church. Like, go sit down. Like, what are you doing? Like, what you trying to take somebody else's gig? Like, you slow. Like, go sit down somewhere, right? But it's just a principle, bro. Like, cats be on this whole like it gotta be me. You gotta see me. You gotta look at me. And it's like, wait a second. He said, "What? Crack a ride, Simple J." We gonna.
That's what I'm trying to change.
We're gonna have to
better calm down.
Calm down here. We have to get Jay Spade on here next time for sure.
That's what we're trying to change right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, tell them about the event again, Rod. And you got all the details in your head. So you tell us what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
It's called Drum Clinic Uncut. And it's gonna be on 101 West Brooks, Suite 8. And it's going to be a phenomenal session. We're going to have Armani Laurie, We're gonna have Ronnie Thomas. We're gonna have Ronell Superboy. I'm about to say Superboy, Super Drummer Smith. Ain't that a trip?
Yep.
We're gonna have Dominique Campbell. We're gonna have Karan Harrison. We're gonna have the other cats that I'm talking about. They're gonna be coming from the strip.
Yep.
Karan Harrison, and then we're gonna have, hopefully, if God says the same, Joe Woolfolk is gonna come in, and it's gonna be awesome. Awesome.
Daryl is solid, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Daryl.
He was gonna be on the live today, but he had some technical issues, not with the phone, but the computer.
Yeah, I understand. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on with our networks because everybody is streaming and Wi-Fi and all this other crazy stuff. So, like, I mean, you know, if you ain't got a hard line almost into your iPhone or iPad or your desktop or whatever, bro, you might be on and off in 2 seconds flat when it comes to streaming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, man, like, I mean, okay, this will be the last thing because I don't want to be on here all day. But you feel me? I thought 2 hours would be adequate. You feel me? Since there's 4, 5, 6 people on that was supposed to be on. So, first of all, hold on. We got a comment over here from Jason, and he's saying, "But am I wrong if I could play drums better than Armani?" I'm gonna let him and Armani figure that out later.
Hey, at the share, I'll be at the clinic. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can figure that out.
Tell Jason to come on.
Jason will be there.
Hey, while y'all playing, he can though.
See, he really can't see, and I don't know. I didn't learn that about Jason last time when I was there. I didn't know he was dope like that on drums.
He's really good. He's good.
Okay, see, y'all teaching me something. See, y'all didn't know that. See,
He's
now
really good. I learned that back in the days.
okay, see, you know, but no, I mean, it's like okay. So when we talk about like having a heart for people, right?
Mhm.
Like instantly, like we sitting at the table, me and Ronell having a branding meeting. And he like, bro, like I like the way in which you're branding yourself. I like the way you putting your content out. Like I like the way your stuff is looking, blah, 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 blah. Like, how can we work together? Like, what can we do? Like, I'm trying to step things up. Like, I'm trying to do this and do that. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, dope. I get on the phone. We sitting at the table because I told him about Drummers United. So he's like, oh, I know Rod. Rod reached out to me, blah, blah, blah. I called Rod on the phone right there in the middle of the meeting. Like, hey, so he talking about most best players are drummers. That's, I mean,
That's true.
That's true. And see, everybody hopping on now. See, we're gonna have to add Jason to this flyer for playing drums. Apparently, no, I'm playing. Look, so but no, so look, I called him instantly, like, hey, my guy is sitting right here. He says you reached out to him a year and a half ago. Like, is it cool if he come out? Right? Like we sitting there, he talking about, bro, I want to expand, I want to do blah, blah, blah. All right, bro, let me get on the phone. Like, right, like
well, I'm coming to opening next year.
He had just said it to me right there, like while we sitting at the table. I'm like, bro, here. No reservations, no hesitation, no nothing. Now, Rod was like, yeah, I think I remember, blah, blah, blah. Then 2 days later, he like, oh, I do remember him. And so it's right. And then now it goes from there. But my point is like, if I'm the type of person who always looking out for me, I ain't gonna put my boy on. I ain't gonna check on Armani. I'm not gonna hit up Rod when, regardless of what we doing, right, about this, and just be like, hey man, y'all good? You need anything? Right? Like that, like for me, that's my heart, is making sure people is solid. Cause to be honest, a lot of musicians don't have real friends. Like they got cats who say that they cool, and then when the opportunity comes, you ain't trying to help. You ain't trying to put nobody on. You ain't trying to help nobody get to the next level. You about you and what you doing. And as long as don't nobody encroach on what you doing and don't nobody come in trying to take over what you doing, then you willing to hear, you willing to help, you willing to hear what somebody got to say. And so for me, I'm like, nah, bro, like, like, nah, let's put it out.
Get all in this together.
Exactly. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Like it's so crazy to me. Like even in the Bay, right? Like there are a lot of times where you're talking about people not showing up for stuff and people not doing different things or whatever. Like people are selective in who they support. So since I already know what that is, instead of me being mad, I ain't even mad no more. I'm just like, it is what it is. I'm gonna still do it anyway. Whether you show up or not, whether you come through or not, whether you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter. Like, that stuff is irrelevant now because people are going to do what they want to do anyway. They prioritize what they want to prioritize. They do what they want to do. And at the end of the day, it's like, am I going to be consistent? Like Armani was talking about earlier. If Drummers United would have stopped based on how many people came, right? Wait, what are you talking about? Hold on. What did he say? If I bust somebody's cymbals, I'll be excommunicated for life. Jason needs prayer. Y'all pray. Everybody put your hand to Jason on the live because he needs prayer. No, I'm playing. No, he talking about don't invite him to the clinic because he's gonna break somebody's temple. So we're gonna have to get him.
It's all good. I got extra.
Some ZBTs, you feel me, and let him go ham, right, and let him be blessed. But no, like I mean, it's now it's to the point to where it's like if we don't come together right now, what's the excuse now, right? Like they shooting us dead in the street, bro. Like what?
Yes, they are.
What are we even like tripping off of still? Like who cares?
Yes,
like
they are.
the fact that you living, the fact that you breathing, the fact that you got some food in your stomach, the fact you got a bed to lay in, and or I mean, you know, musicians go through crazy stuff. They be sleeping in a car sometimes. They be, I mean, having to stay on somebody's couch, hop, surf, whatever. Like it'd be crazy narratives for musicians because of how people handle us with a lack of integrity, which is why we was talking about contracts and all this other stuff. So to be honest with you, if I would have made all of the money that I was promised, I would have been a millionaire already. Like
everybody would.
So it's like that day is out, like right. So me tripping off of which musician got what gig and how they getting whatever, bro. Who cares? Like at the end of the day, are you good? Do you need anything? Like if somebody die in your family, like am I gonna be at the funeral? Like that's what matters. Like this other stuff is irrelevant. Like ain't nobody tripping off the dumb stuff no more. Like we gotta realign our focus and our attention on are we gonna be here for each other?
Yep.
Right? Like cause if no matter how many symbols Ronell is gonna crack of mine, right? Because he'll crack a symbol too. No, I'm playing. But what I'm saying is look.
Ronell, I'm still waiting on my shirt.
Oh yeah, see, he said
I got you. So when I fly out there, I got you, man. I'm bringing them. I'm bringing them with me. It's all good. You get one too, brains.
Bags, bro.
We have demands too, though, because you're not the only one with demands. We are demanding some food. So Tom, we are.
Yeah, y'all got it.
We are putting a demand on you
with the salt.
We gotta talk about this pro drum set, bro.
With the salt.
It's good, bro. I got you, bro.
With the salt.
With the sauce, yes, sir. Now listen, while we all
hold on, Dom. Right when we touch down in Nevada, I want a plate of some links. I'm not playing.
He wants you, airport. He wants you at the airport with the sign in hand, like food here. You feel me? Like pick us up.
Friday is the day before.
I'm flying in Friday, Doc. Friday morning at like 10 o'clock. I will be at the airport. I promise you.
Friday's the day.
Friday I will be there. Friday.
Hey man,
Friday we cooking and then mic checking and all of that other stuff on Friday night.
All right. So
hey, listen, I can't wait for no month. I'm going today. I'm already in Vegas. Soon as this live, listen, I'm putting on my shoes and I'm coming.
Bro, you right down the street.
That's the scary part about it.
Oh my goodness. No, like see this is what I'm talking about. Like this environment and like having this type of time, like for me, this is what clinics was about. It was like hearing somebody kill, right? And then they give you some insight, and then everybody laughing, chopping it up, having fun after, like, and just coming together. Because to be honest with you, as traveling musicians, like you don't have opportunity to just kick it 90% of the time. Because you're either working on a project, you trying to spend time with your girl because you've been on the road. Like you got kids, you really ain't going nowhere. So like clinics is really like it's like man cave for musicians on steroids. You feel me? Like I'm in the clinic, so I get to go. Like you like you can't, you know what I'm saying? Wait, hold on, what's going on?
This guy.
What Jason saying?
Musicians more than trying to lick everybody down. When something tragic happens, we can't always be selling chicken dinners and start a GoFundMe account. See, and
that's right.
What he talking about is now the financial component of where do musicians like invest their money? Like how do you handle yourself financially right? Because to be honest with you, a lot of times musicians is good at music, but they horrible at money.
Yes.
Right. So that's why I'm having these conversations now, like before the clinic even transpired. Like if we get on here once a week and just talk about how to handle your finances as a musician and like how to put your money into whatever that's gonna build something, right? Like having more of them conversations, I feel like it's gonna be more impactful because when the day of the clinic come and we talking about playing, you done already got a bunch of content on how to help to maintain and manage your household, right?
You're gonna have to refresh them. You know that, right?
Of course. But the thing is like, and this is the other part too that I want to encourage you about as well is when you talk about other people not showing up, well, now they can show up in their living room. You feel what I'm saying? Because of the virtual aspect, right? They can catch the replay now. Like the way streaming has impacted support is just different, right? So you might only have 20 people in the room, but you got
we're gonna have 50 seats set up for them just in case.
Yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, like, just the way people support during this virtual pandemic time, like to where this is kind of like the way we operate now. You got, I was watching something last night to where they was doing like a fight in Oakland, right? And it was 20,000 people watching this amateur boxing match, like in Oakland. It was like, what the heck? Like, who even does? What are y'all doing? Like 20,000 people. Like, why are y'all? But because people's eyes are like kind of set on something popping off that's cool or that's positive or that's on point or that's entertaining, more people is willing to look at it now, right? So I just wanted to say that as some encouragement.
Jason needs to be there. He needs to be there instead of on this live.
Who is this?
Jason needs to be there.
Oh yeah, Jason got to come because
Jason gonna be there because he gonna play with me.
Jason got to preach.
That's what I need to see.
Jason gonna be there. He gonna play with me.
You feel me? So but and like even my boy who plays bass with me from out here, Justin Copes, he's supposed to be flying out as well, right? So
you're gonna have there's gonna be plenty bass players out there. Matter of fact, the place that we're gonna be at, he's a bass player.
That's dope. But see, when we talking about Drummers United, I'm like, well, my boy right now already coming. As soon as I told my other boy what was going on, he was like, I'm catching a flight. He was like, I'm just coming to support. I'm like, you're not coming to support me and not bring no bass. You got me messed up. Bring your bass.
Wow.
like, because you know what I'm saying?
All we do is make phone calls.
Absolutely. And it was because I posted a flyer on Facebook. And then he hit me up immediately after and was like, bro, hold on. What's going on in Vegas on the 29th? I'm like, bro, I just got invited to be a part of this clinic. So he was like, I'm coming. He was like, I ain't got to play nothing. I'm just showing up. And I'm like, you're not coming all the way to Vegas and don't play. Like, I'm not doing that, right? So hold on, what are you talking about? I'm just gonna come through just don't put me on kit though. I'm scared of these symbols, low key. I'm not fooling with him. Anyway,
don't start that.
You're gonna be straight, Jason. You're gonna be cool. You know what we should do for him? We should give him when he get on all the crack symbols. That'll be perfect. You feel me? And he'll be good.
Crack symbols.
All right, we'll just let him play on all crack symbols.
No crack symbols.
Look. But yeah, man, I'm grateful that we got to hop on here today, man. And I mean, we can for sure do this again next week if y'all want to hop back on. Let's do it. We can invite some other
same time, same station.
Yeah, man.
We got to end with some Larnell Lewis.
Yes, sir. We gonna post Link is back on, and then after that goes off, then we gonna catch y'all next week, same back time, same back channel, and go from there. So yes, sir. Hold on, give me 1 second while I was pulling up. And yeah, man, I'm grateful for this opportunity again to be able to.
Me too, man.
Hey, it's gonna be fun, man.
It's gonna be dope. Like, it's gonna be dope. I'm excited. It is going to be dope.
I gotta knock this rust off these because I don't play drums. I gotta knock this rust and dust off.
Man, look, it's all good. We all got to. And that's the other thing, like even coming together on that hype, like, you know what I mean, coming together and just practicing and doing what's necessary to take things to the next level. You feel me? So, I mean,
get some shots out.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right, we want to give out some shots to Nevada Help Desk. I'm going to give out some shots out to 24 Hour Gospel. I'm going to give some shots out to our family, Drummers United International.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for just hanging in there with us. If we couldn't do this without you guys. So this is an awesome experience, and let's make this a successful event.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sure.
I mean, any final remarks before I we got to give all final remarks like we in church, right? Any final remarks before we end our service on today? Listen. You know what I'm saying?
Any remarks?
Man, listen, I look forward to, what I'm saying, the fellowship. I mean, it's gonna be fun, man, especially getting back on drums because, like Jason said, every musician's first instrument was drums. So it's gonna be real fun to, really get back on drums and be creative and fellowship with other musicians. And man, like Roger said, man, we're gonna come together, we're gonna have a good time, man. We're gonna make this super pop. I'm excited.
Dope. Come on, Doc. Give us a word.
Come on, Bishop.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys, man. Let me be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? We all got to keep our heads up no matter what. And we're going to make this thing go, man. I'm excited. The companies I deal with, I told them to post it. I told them to get it, get it going, and, I'm just ready to come out there, man. And I can't really play the drums like that, but, you know what I'm saying? Because Dom is the one that, taught me everything I know. But, yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Hey,
Dom, quit. If y'all don't, I'm about to turn Lingus on. I'm not even giving no final remarks because y'all already know I play the triangle professionally. For all y'all that don't know, okay. So
Dom came out here and smashed on this record, yo.
He got the wrong Dom. It was somebody else.
Dom came out here and smashed, bro.
Hey, and I got video, Dom. So don't. I got videos of you playing Zydeco, bro, for your first time, bro. So
Hey, you know what's crazy? I couldn't even post that because I realized that I wasn't playing my cymbals. I was playing yours, and I'm like, dang. I was hot. I'm like, dang.
That's why we don't have a DJ.
Hey, that's the other side of being endorsed. Like, you gotta. Hey, if you're gonna go off and you're gonna record it, remember to play your cymbals, please. Like,
yo, please don't get fired. Please don't get fired on your day off.
Joints, you feel me? You play at a clinic and don't and keep the distance real. Keep your frame real tight so they can't see everything. But no,
it must be nice. I'm the only one out here without no endorsement.
Yeah, we was at a shed.
We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you. Don't worry about it.
That's why we're gonna have a DJ.
Listen, we gonna have everybody on in a minute because look, that's something else. That's something else. See, Jason, don't get on here talking. See, Jason, and see how you spell amplified though. We need you to respell it so I can put the comment back up. Look, no, I'm playing. Look. Hey, we act crazy. We like to have a good time. But no, like for real. That's something else I feel like we could talk about on the next live, right? And I'll kind of give y'all kind of a tune in on what I'm kind of be hinging on the next one. What I'm about to kind of talk about is what products do we build as musicians that basically we create our own company, right? Is that something that we even trying to pull together and do? Because while many of us are endorsed, you don't always have the freedom and the flexibility to go outside of, right? And you're not always able to monetize as effectively as you would be able to, right? If you had your own stuff. So but we're not gonna deal with that today. We're gonna deal with that next.
I was about to show you something.
I'm gonna give Jason a chance to respell amplify, and I'll post his comment. But while we get his comment together, we're gonna go back to Lingus real quick, and we're gonna get to it like halfway through it. Right around Larnell Lewis's solo. So, and then after that, it'll be good to go. Hold on, I'm letting it upload right now. Okay. Hold on real quick.
Shout out to Corey Henry.
Man, look.
Bruh, the GOAT, one of the GOATs.
Snarky